Folks, welcome to Paisa Paisa. I'm your host Anupam Gupta, B50 on Twitter, and this is a really special episode because we're going to talk about a topic we've never spoken about so far on Paisa Paisa in all our 4+ years of existence: financial inclusion. Just some background: back in 2014, our government had initiated the National Mission for Financial Inclusion, better known as the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana (PMJDY), to provide universal banking services for every unbanked household. And since then, since 2014, we've achieved a lot on this front. Right now, when I checked the PMJDY website, the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana website, it said that 41.79 crore beneficiaries have been banked so far with 1.38 lakh crores in beneficiary account. That's a massive number. And to tell us more about the importance of financial inclusion, today's guest is Dilip Modi, founder of Spice Money. Now, Spice Money is a multi-dimensional banking and digital services provider that plays a direct role in financial inclusion. So let's get this started. Dilip, welcome to Paisa Paisa. Thank you so much for doing this for our listeners. Give us a quick overview and a background of Spice Money, and we'll get into the specifics later. All yours.
Thanks a lot, Anupam, for having me on the show. Uh, Spice Money is a rural fintech player and is very much focused on the big issue of financial inclusion. And so the numbers that you stated, Anupam, are very clearly the direction the government has taken with the opening of millions of Jan Dhan bank accounts. What Spice Money is solving is basically building out the last mile banking and ATM infrastructure so that as people have opened up bank accounts or government has enabled people to open up bank accounts and has dispersed a lot of funds into the bank accounts, especially people in semi-urban and rural India, to be able to access those bank accounts, to be able to withdraw cash from those bank accounts, or to be able to transact with their bank accounts, need access to a bank branch or an ATM machine. What we have done at Spice Money is we've created a digital platform which converts a Kirana store in semi-urban and rural India into an ATM come bank branch. And therefore, we are directly playing to the objective of driving financial inclusion. I would say that if you look at the ATM penetration in our country, it's significantly low compared to the world. We are ranked 121 in the world with respect to ATMs per million population. Within India, if you look at semi-urban and rural ATM penetration versus overall India averages, all India, we are about, close to 300, but in semi-urban rural, we are less than 100 ATMs per million population. Then if I talk quickly about the financial products around savings, credit, insurance, semi-urban and rural India is significantly lacking, whether you look at aggregate bank deposits as a percentage, semi-urban rural India only accounts for 23% of official bank deposits. If you look at credit, there's a $300 billion of unmet MSME credit demand, significantly coming out of semi-urban and rural. So if I look at entrepreneurs in rural India or semi-urban India, they're relying on informal sources of credit. So as the whole digitization program is going, and as more and more people are getting into formalizing their banking, I think as Spice Money, we are providing them a platform wherein they can get formal access to credit products, loan, insurance products, as well as saving products. So we are very much committed to the government's agenda of driving financial inclusion deep into semi-urban and rural India.
One. Those are huge numbers that you are telling us, Dilip. I want to take one step back, and if you can help our listeners with the concept of financial inclusion. Now, all of us out here in metro cities, we have a bank account and we've got access to pretty much all the financial products out there, from credit cards to loans to fixed deposits and everything. But I know that financial inclusion is literally the doorstep for someone to enter into the world of financial products. So tell us why financial inclusion is so important in India.
Well, I think to begin with, Anupam, financial inclusion is very important because if you look at the GDP growth in our country, at the end of the day, semi-urban and rural India is where a billion people live. If I look at 1.3 billion people, 300 million people are living in the big cities. It's a billion people that are sitting in living in semi-urban and rural India. If our GDP has to grow, it's very important for us to bring them into the formal economic fold of the country. They cannot be relying on informal sources of financial products, right? For example, if you look at insurance, very little penetration in semi-urban and rural. So I think, for the long-term economic growth of the country, it is very important. Credit is a big fuel to economic growth. And today, many consumers and businesses in rural India are relying on informal sources of credit. where the cost of credit is in some cases 5%, 10% a month, and it's significantly high. And as a result of that, they're not able to get access to capital which is lying and available for them to go. So if you've seen the growth of microfinance industry, I would say microfinance has played a big role in the agenda of financial inclusion. But I think the great opportunity we have today is with digitization. I think where roads have not reached rural India, smartphones and internet has connected rural India. And I think if we can enable formal financial products to be made available through your smartphone using internet connectivity, I think there's a great opportunity for us to bring rural India into the GDP growth story of India going forward.
Very interesting, right? Because till you don't come into the formal financial system, like you said, you're accessing credit at a very high cost because obviously the formal system will not lend to you. And your primary mode of transactions is cash. Okay, now cash has been the traditional way of doing payments and business in India because cash has no cost. It also leaves no trail for people. Sometimes that works. But we know there's a very big cost out there when you use cash. What are the problems in cash and how does financial inclusion help that?
So what we are doing at Spice Money is effectively the platform that we've created enables people to easily deposit cash into bank and easily withdraw cash from their bank account. Today, the challenge is why rural India is significantly dependent on cash is because there's no other way for them to transact. Because there is no bank branch or ATM close to them. So by enabling your next door Kirana store to become a bank branch come ATM, you're able to formally deposit and withdraw cash. Now, at the end of the day, I see that the problem is not in cash, it's in unaccounted for cash. And that is where what I see is that if tomorrow, what the government agenda is, earlier when they used to give subsidies or the direct benefit transfers, it used to be through a cash transfer mode, which used to lead to a lot of pilferage. Now the money straight away hits your bank account. So Anupam, it's amazing when the prime minister stands up and talks about, sending out so many subsidies to rural India. Earlier, it used to take days before people used to get to see the cash. Now, if the prime minister announces at 10:30 in the morning that so much money is being sent to your bank account, at 11 o'clock, the person can go to his next door Kirana store and actually withdraw that money.
Wow.
So I think the confidence, the simplicity, and the convenience of being able to transact with a bank account will give a lot of confidence to customers, all citizens all over India, especially rural India, to be able to, formally have their cash accounted for. And
Right.
let me conclude by saying that we've started with some very innovative credit products in rural India, and like the microfinance industry has shown, borrowers in rural India do not default.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
NPS in rural India are far lower than that in urban India. So I believe
Counterintuitive.
that people can be significantly great borrowers. So the problem is that their credit files are very thin, and we at Spice Money are creating, strengthening the credit files so we can actually give them access to low cost capital. So I think
Yeah.
overall it's a win-win-win situation. It's a win for government, it's a win for the citizen, and it's a win for the formal financial economy, because today banks are only dealing with 300 million customers, and
Mm.
tomorrow they have an opportunity to deal with 1.3 billion customers. And today the traditional banks do not lend to them because their credit files are too thin. Through platforms like Spice Money, we are able to give them access to more data, which gives them more confidence to lend. And borrowers in rural India are good credit customers.
Yeah. I was saying that's kind of counterintuitive to us sitting out here with our sitting somewhere in a metro city and not aware of what's going on. And the DBT, the direct benefit transfer that you spoke about, it actually worked during the pandemic, right? When I think some 3,000 rupees per household was actually sent by the center to people. That really worked, right?
Oh, it was beautiful. It was not
Yeah.
just the 300 rupees account. There was a 500 rupee number sent to all women beneficiaries in rural
Wow.
India. And a lot of women came out and were able to get access to cash and felt empowered. I think it was the Jam Trinity, Jandhan, Aadhaar, Mobile, that really worked for us during the pandemic, right?
Sure.
It really enabled rural India to not only survive, but thrive. And if you look at the numbers of the growth in rural economy in the last 9 months, it's actually exceeded that of the urban economy. And
Wow.
rural economy has really grown aggressively in the last 9 months. And I think the whole digitization in rural India, as well as the great way the government has rolled out the Jandan program, has come together to make this happen. So I think we are really seeing a digital Bharat in making.
Sure. I want to wrap up this first part, Dilip, with specific problems. You mentioned credit, you mentioned insurance, you mentioned how interest rates can be as high as 5% per month from unofficial sources of money in semi-urban and rural areas. So, can you tell us the specific problems that we know can easily be solved with financial inclusion?
Well, I think to begin with, the cost of credit, like you said earlier, we can significantly bring it down with financial inclusion, right? We can come down from 5% to less than 2% immediately, right? I think that's possible. I think what's also important is that formal saving products can be given with financial inclusion. So today what is happening is people are keeping cash at home. Now they can go and put cash into their bank account and actually subscribe to a saving product where they can earn more on that cash. So not only do they have to pay less, but they can earn more. So net they can make more money through financial inclusion.
And keep that money off their house because there's a risk of it getting robbed, I guess.
Absolutely. Today,
Sure.
the reason they keep their money at home because there's nowhere else to put it.
Yeah, it's really, really interesting. So, folks, we are taking a break right now. On the other side, we're going to come back with specific, like we said, specific problems. And now we're going to talk about how Spice Money actually solves all of these problems. It's a fascinating company. It's got so many different products which are aimed towards the financial inclusion use case and how it solves certain problems. So, we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere on this really special episode of Pesa and Go. And welcome back to this really special episode of Paisa Paisa. My guest, Dilip Modi, founder of Spice Money. On the first part of this episode, of the on the previous side of this break, we spoke about the importance of financial inclusion and the problems that it can solve. Now, in this part of our episode, we're going to talk specifically about Spice Money and how it solves the problem that we spoke about in the previous part. So, Dilip, tell us about Spice Money, and how does it begin the journey of financial inclusion in India's smallest towns and cities? Because I'm really fascinated by the coverage that you've got. Tell us how Spice Money works.
So the way it works, Anupam, is that we are a digital platform. So the product is a mobile app, and what happens is that our focus is on targeting financial entrepreneurs, and our goal is to convert a kirana store in a small town or a village into a kind of a bank branch or an ATM. And therefore, we want the kirana store owner to also function like a financial entrepreneur. So the way it works is that they download what we call a Spice Money Adhikari app. We actually label him as an Adhikari because our goal is for him to be able to empower the communities around him or her. And so once he downloads the app, there is a KYC that happens. It's a self-boarding onboarding process. They have to upload some documents. They have to shoot a video, everything digitally. It's an end-to-end digital journey. And once they have run through the KYC program, we ship them a small banking kit, which involves a biometric device, an Aadhaar biometric device. It's a biosensor for your fingerprint, as well as a card ATM device, which connects to your smartphone. So it's a mobile ATM come POS device. So the way it works is now he can function like an ATM come bank branch. Now what happens is when a person wants to withdraw cash, they come to this merchant now who's enabled by Spice Money. So on his shop or at his store, he puts up a board which says all ATM services available here, withdraw money from any bank account. So if I'm a State Bank of India customer, I walk into the Spice Money merchant point and I identify myself in terms of my details. Who am I? What is my bank account? And then I authenticate myself using Aadhaar. So I place my finger on the biosensor. The system recognizes who I am. And then I say, I want to withdraw so much money. Once everything is confirmed that he is the customer whose bank account it is through the Aadhaar authentication, the money moves from the customer's bank account into the merchant's bank account. And all of this happens in milliseconds. The moment that happens, the merchant actually withdraws cash from his till or from his wallet and actually gives it to the customer. So the merchant is functioning like a human ATM machine, right? Now, the reason this has worked beautifully is because the banks today have to incur significant costs to roll out ATM machines. We are used to seeing in urban India these large white labeled teller machines, right? Which
Yeah.
we see, with lit up when we
Yeah.
drive in the evenings and all of that stuff. Now there's a cost to having that infrastructure, physical machine, rentals, stocking them up with cash, having security, all those things. Here, all you need is a smartphone and an Aadhaar machine. So at the end of the day, the cost is nothing. right,
Mm.
compared to that, as well as you're leveraging the cash in the ecosystem, because almost all merchants who have kirana stores have cash.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
now they're making money by giving away that cash, because the way it works is the banks pay an interchange to us and we pay to the kirana store. And the cost of doing this mobile ATM business is significantly lower than the physical ATM business that the bank does. So it's a win-win-win situation. So this is how we enable every kirana store to effectively function as an ATM where a customer can go and withdraw cash. So
Sure.
that's our main core product. Now on the back of that, we have layered a lot of products, because on the app now we've enabled other payment products. So at the same point, the customer can pay his electricity bills, his DTH bills, water bills, gas bills. So he doesn't have to go 20 kilometers, 10 kilometers to find a place where he has to pay his bills, the electricity vibhag department, everything, right? Similarly, now on this he can do his telco recharge, right? He can also now apply for a loan, right? So we have now tied up with banks and NBFCs, and we have created a credit marketplace on our platform. We've also created an insurance marketplace on our platform. So the same merchant not only now becomes an ATM come payments point, but also becomes a point where people can get access to loans, be able to subscribe to an insurance policy, and we soon will start publishing a lot of saving and investment products on the platform as well. So that is why we call him a financial entrepreneur, the
Hmm.
merchant, and effectively he's a Spice Money Adhikari. And so at the end of the day, the way we've grown is we have now close to 500,000 Spice Money Adhikaris across India. We are growing at a rate of nearly a lakh a month,
Wow.
and I'm hoping that very soon we'll cross 1 million adhikaris, and our goal is to get to 10 million adhikaris, because we have to serve 1 billion people.
Hmm.
And so the way it effectively works is it's completely a digital model, but it has a physical engagement with the customers. So we refer to it as a phygital model. And we believe that in a space like banking and financial services, where there's a huge issue of lack of trust, having someone close to you, helping you to do financial transactions is a great enabler. I do believe
Sure.
that customers in rural India want this. It's like, why do banks need branches? Is because they want to build trust.
Yeah.
And we have been able to create a digital virtual bank branch network through the means of a smartphone enabled app platform that we've built.
Sure. I have a follow up on that because you spoke about the various products over and above, the banking and the ATM, the ATM services that the Adhikari offers. I'm trying to figure, how does someone in a semi-urban or a rural place enter into this world of financial products in terms of, say, if I want a loan.
Hmm.
And we spoke about this on the first, in the previous part of the episode. How would that process work, right? Because I always thought that banks would have some kind of a credit appraisal system, and then giving that would be slightly more costly for the bank, and the bank might not be that enthusiastic. So how do you think we're going to resolve that, whether it's a loan or even whether it's insurance, right? Because I'm not sure if an insurance provider would give a policy out there maybe for someone who doesn't have access to a health checkup or something of that sort. This is just, just trying to
Yeah,
understand the
yeah.
various hurdles, because I'm sure all of this will get solved over a period of time.
So I think, Anupam, you're absolutely right. What we need is product innovation, and what we need is micro financial products, right? So it's micro credit, it's micro insurance, it's micro savings. And what a digital platform, a digital, like a business correspondent platform like Spice Money enables, is to make micro financial products viable. You see, today, if you open a physical bank branch and start doing like 20,000 rupee ticket lending, loans, it just doesn't make the branch viable.
Yeah.
But in our case, we are an asset light, digital heavy infrastructure led play. And so as a result of that, what is needed is, this concept of micro product innovation. And so you've seen the regulator on the insurance side talk about micro insurance, right? So what we are doing today to solve for this is we are actually working with the traditional banking infrastructure, the traditional insurers, but we as a rural fintech player are seeing how to innovate on products, right? So we are working with them as partners to do innovation, right? So for us, for example, one of the things that we are doing is we are doing lending to small merchants around our adhikaris, wherein they enable us to collect data from them, right? And because they are living in that community, right? It's a bit akin to what you see in microfinance with the social collateral works. So the proximity enables them to collect data, which otherwise banks don't get access to. And because banks are so used to collateral based lending, while what we need is flow based lending. So we need alternate data.
Hmm.
And that is where, so I think for us, the ability to use our Adhikari on the ground to not only gather information, which allows us to do KYC of the borrower, but also enable us to do collections. And what we've enabled is a daily collection model on
Hmm.
the loan side. So we are
Interesting.
talking about loans of the ticket size between 5,000 rupees to about a lakh
Wow.
rupees, 3 to 6 months tenor, and flexible repayment on a daily basis. So this
Yeah.
kind of product innovation could not exist without technology or without these platforms. And I think it's these kind of products that is now enabling a lot of banks. So what microfinance started as an industry with the social collateral model now is the next phase of innovation coming when it comes to rural products, especially around lending and insurance. So that's the journey that we are on.
Very interesting. And if there's somebody who's listening to this episode is actually wants to learn more or get this done for maybe his relative staying in semi-urban or a rural village, Dilip, what should he do? Should he check out your website? How should he
So
go
so
about?
so yes. So very clearly, we all the information is available on our website, spicemoney.com. Or from the website, they can also download a Spice Money Adhikari app, or they can enable their relatives in semi-urban rural India to download one. We have a lot of youth joining our platform. The average age of our Adhikari is 26 years old.
Hmm.
So we have a lot of young people in semi-urban rural India who want
Nice.
to become entrepreneurs who are joining our platform. We have a Spice Money Academy that we've set up to train them to be successful financial entrepreneurs.
Wow.
And we have housewives joining us as Spice Money Adhikaris. So we are actually not only enabling financial inclusion, but we are truly also driving self-employment.
Yeah.
And therefore, we are creating job creators
Yeah.
in rural India. So truly an Atmanirbhar story in the making.
Yeah. So guys, if you want to know more, if you have someone in your, in your native place, as they call it, or in a semi-urban rural place, and please tell them to go on their phones, on whichever phone that they have, and check out the Spice Money app. I think once you download the app, it's pretty straightforward from there, right?
It's pretty straightforward, and it's an additional source of income.
Yeah.
And I would encourage everyone to experience it at least once and encourage their relatives in small towns and villages to come on board and become a Spice Money Adhikari and serve the
Yeah.
community around them.
In fact, that was going to be my last question. Let's wind this up on a nice, optimistic, and positive note. Dilip, where do you think we are going with the entire financial inclusion thing? Because I love the sound of this. When I look at the kind of diverse and large population that we have, and the work that you're doing, and the fact that now there are, I think mobile penetration is now pretty much 100%. And we know that mobile networks today are in fact quite reasonably good. We've got the KYC process that seems user friendly as of now. Given where we are right now, what's your outlook? Where do you think India is going from here?
I'm super excited, Anupam. I've seen in front of our eyes how 1 billion people have got connected using mobile. Very soon, 1 billion people are going to get connected to internet. Already, it's happening, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Players have enabled that,
So we are the
and
largest, I think, in the world as far as
we are now the data economy of the data leaders in terms of data traffic in the world.
yeah.
I think what we are excited about at Spice Money is that can we have 1 billion people who are connected to the formal financial economy, and they're able to access loans at reasonable cost. They are able to get themselves insured. They have access to formal financial products. So what we've seen in the last 25 years of 1 billion people getting connected through mobile, I'm hoping that in the next 10 years or even shorter than that, we can get 1 billion people into the formal financial fold. So we stopped saying financial inclusion.
Mm.
And at the end of the day, everyone is part of the formal financial economy. And we've created a level playing field across India.
Fantastic. Love to end the episode on a positive note, Dilip. And I'm going to call you back on the show maybe, 6 months down the line, hoping that you have some more stories to tell us. But that's a wrap on this episode, folks. Paisa Vaisa, my guest, Dilip Modi, founder of Spice Money. Dilip, thank you so much. Thank you so much for doing this. So listen, and all the best to you and your entire staff at Spice Money for doing such a, such an awesome job.
Thank you, Anupam. We are on a mission, and it's always so exciting to talk to people about our mission. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for having us here.
Always glad to broadcast your message to people. So, folks, that is a wrap on this episode. If you like this episode, don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can listen to us on the IVM podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow us on our social media. We are IVM Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to reach out to me, I'm B50 on Twitter. And thank you so much for listening to Paisa Vaisa.